Did you push record? We're good? All right, I'm going to get started. I think I'm going to do the intro music first. So hopefully I don't mess it up, right? All right. All right, I think I got it. I got it. Yeah, we're good.
5, 4.
Nope.
3.
Nope. Sorry. I messed up. Sorry. Wrong one. Wrong. Stop. Wrong one. Nope. It's fine. I'll figure it out. Stop. Just work with me. Let's run that back. Hi, guys. My name is Jalen Anthony Mock, the one and only first and last. That's not a pretentious thing, by the way. That's genuinely facts. If you look up statistics and they tell you names and like the likelihood of other people being named that, blah, 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 look up Jalen Anthony Mock. It says 1 in all of North America. 1. This guy. So that's pretty cool. I don't know if my mom and dad were super creative and they did that on purpose or if they just got super lucky. I'm good either way because I love being unique. There's only one you. That's truer than true. There's nobody better that's truer than you. I wish that was me, but that was Dr. Seuss. But I'm super excited. Welcome back to Life with Jalen. Let's go. And we are back. Life with Jalen is back. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, I am so excited. I can't know if you can tell by the smile on my face, but I am pumped. I'm expecting great things. It's going to be awesome. Today we're going to talk about a little bit of what happened. I mean, think about it. It's been a year, over a year. My last upload was September of 2018, and it's no longer September. Time is quickly flying by. So what happened? Where did it go? How did we get here? Why did it start back up? What was going on? We're going to talk all about that today. So I'm excited. Let's dive right in. So basically, what happened? First of all, where did Life with Jalen come from? Why Life with Jalen? Why YouTube? Why any of it? Where did it come from? Where did it come from? Where did it go? Where did it come from? Cotton Eye Joe. Beep-dop. Sorry, guys, I'm stalling. All right. Seriously, what happened? So Life with Jalen, if you don't know, it originated, it wasn't a conceited thing. I need to make a YouTube channel and put my name in it because that's really subtle. No, it actually had nothing to do with that. What happened was I made Instagram. It was like Vines. I don't know if you know what Vine are. Apparently I can't talk anymore. If you know what Vines are, but it was like short, quick clips that people made to be funny or witty or whatever. And I did it with my Instagram back when there was only like 15 seconds of time on Instagram. And I did funny stuff. I did stuff about Valentine's Day, stuff about overeating on Thanksgiving, stuff about rapping grandmothers, all these different stuff where I just made funny or creative clips for my Instagram account. And it was super cool and I really liked it. And people liked it. That's what actually blew it up was I was just going to do that because I thought it was funny. And I was like, hey, let's be creative. But people constantly were like, yo, this is so funny. And they would share it back then when you couldn't like post to your story because that wasn't a thing. So they were like, let's share it. And so they did. And what happened was it blew up. Not like viral sensation. Oh, my Lord, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, let's go insane because he is fantastic. Like, it wasn't like that. It was actually quite the contrary. It was very low, very chill. There was a few people that liked it, a few people that would talk about it, a few people that would share it with their friends. But it was cool because I was a small kid from a county in Maryland that most people aren't trying to come from, but that's where I was from. And nobody knew who I was. Nobody knew what I was doing. Nobody knew me from Adam. And but it was cool because I did it because my friends, my family thought it was funny. So I was like, let me do it. So I did it and it slowly blew up more and more until I started getting very few amount of followers from it. And then eventually what took place was people started telling me, you need to make a YouTube channel. Jalen, make a YouTube channel. You're so funny. You need to make a YouTube channel. Bro, you've got something to say. Make a YouTube channel. Bro, do X, Y, and Z. Make a YouTube channel. And I was like, I don't think I can because it's going to be crazy. And it's so much work, and how can I make, I'm good at making 15 seconds worth of content, but how do I make 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes worth of content? And I was like, all right, I'm going to do it. And I started off super premature and basically fumbled through a few videos. It didn't go well, and I stopped. One of the biggest motivators to this, one of the people in my corner telling me to do this, was my dad. Now, we didn't have a lot we connected on, as many of you know. We weren't the closest of individuals. But one thing he did was support my content. And so he was one of the people, make a YouTube channel and I'll support it and I'll share it. And so I did. And he was telling me to do it, and I put out videos and all that. And he would share it. And I got like a few views. It was like 20 views here, 70 views there, 300 views. I think the biggest was like 300. And most of it came from him promoting it to his people in his area and stuff. And it was cool. It was great. But I kind of was like, I stopped because I couldn't do it. I didn't think I was funny enough. I didn't think I was creative enough. And I was like, I can't do this. I'm going to stop. And some of you know, in 2015, my dad passed away. And shortly after that, I brought the channel back. And I started to do a little more content, started to bring it up. In fact, I think it was late 2015, if not 2016. No, it was 2016 because it was winter. I remember the snow was outside, or it was really cold. Maybe it was the fall. I don't know. It wasn't snow. I just exaggerated. You know how stories like grow in your mind? It was one of those. There was not snow outside, but it was very cold. I remember that. But basically, time had moved on, and I wanted to bring it back. Partially because of him, because this is something he was supported and he was no longer here, so I felt I could do it for him. And then partially just because I wanted to do it again. I wanted to bring my creative side back out and try to make people laugh and try to just be fun or have something to share, whether a testimony, whatever it was. And I was like, I'm going to bring it back. And so I did. And it was doing all right. And it was 2017 where everything changed, because it was no longer 300 views, 320 views, 470 views. It was Congress, and I am sharing this video where I'm expecting the same exact results for the few people in my corner to support it and to share it. And it ran across the right tables and met the right people. And this thing literally got over 30,000 views, which if you're looking at like the big vloggers and YouTubers and stuff like that, that's not a lot. That's not 1 million. That's not 7.3 billion. That's not... You're right. But in my demographic and a part of the organization that I'm connected with, that was a big number, especially to me, especially the kid that just had like 300 views on his video prior. And from that video, all my other videos views started skyrocketing. By skyrocketing, I mean they got to like 2,000, 3,000 something, where it was no longer hundreds, but it was in the thousands. And it was great. It was awesome. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is blowing up. This is so cool. And then I go to Congress, and it was the weirdest experience of my life. Everyone's like, you're the guy from that video. Your life with Jalen. And I was like, oh my God, what do I do? And it was really cool. And I enjoyed it. I was like, wow, they appreciate my content. I'm actually funny. I'm not making these videos and watching them 300 times myself. Someone's actually watching this stuff. I was like, this is fantastic. And it kind of it continued for a little bit, and I kind of rode that wave. But something started to happen that didn't happen before. I would upload a video, and the views weren't as high. Before, that didn't bother me. This time, it did. Before, I'd post a video, and it would get 100 views, 200 views, 300 views, and I would just be like, oh, that's cool. It's whatever. I'm just enjoying it. I did it for the few that loved it, and I did it for myself just to be fun. And that wasn't happening anymore. I would see the video, and it would get 700 views. I'm saying that reaction like that's a lot, because it is. That's 700 people that watch your content. That's like a big number. I'm trying to think of a way that's like over 10 times the average church size in UPCI. Like it's a lot of people watching your video. But it wasn't enough, and I didn't like it. I saw it as a lack of success. I was like, well, only that many? Wow, that's a waste. And I started to care about the things that didn't matter. And I started to look for affirmation in the numbers, and I started to look for the likes and the shares and the praise and the great jobs and the attaboys and the affirmation from people, from numbers, from monetization. and it wasn't coming. And I didn't like my response to that. I didn't like the way that it made me feel. I felt that was wrong. It just left a dirty taste in my mouth. And another reason why I stopped was, yes, life was getting busy. That's what I told a lot of people, but that was because I didn't really want to share the real reason, which is what I'm sharing now. Life was busy. Life continued. Other opportunities came up. Excuse me. And it was life got busy, but I still could have did it. But the real reason was I didn't think it was successful anymore because I wasn't up there where it was that one time this and that happened. Excuse me. And the Lord checked me on it. He started to deal with me. Some people started to say stuff to me. They had no idea what they were saying, but I knew what he was talking about. But I got away from the main reason I did it. I did it for the few people that cared. I did it for the few people that said I needed that good word or that laugh. I did it for the family that supported me my entire life. And I got away from that. And the Lord dealt with me, and I felt I needed to give it up. I felt I needed to put it on the altar. And many of you probably don't even realize that it was off for a year. And many of you probably just thought I was busy and just wasn't doing it. But I had no idea it was ever coming back. The Lord was like, you need to let it go. And I was like, fine. Why would you do that? It's so successful. This is the biggest it's ever been. You blah, blah, blah. You know how many people would kill to have over 2,000 subscribers, blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, I'm sorry. but God comes first for me. And when he said do it, I wasn't hesitating. And I did it. And it made I've lost, and I'm talking about the numbers because they don't matter to me anymore, and I'll explain that in a second. But I lost, I think, like 700 or more subscribers on YouTube because I didn't post for an entire year. 700. That's such a waste, Jalen. Wow. You know what I would do if I had all that and you just let it go? The Lord spoke, and I said, yes, sir. And he wanted it, and I gave it to him. And I didn't know if it was coming back or not. I had no reason to think it was coming back because it got out of order. I cared about the things that didn't matter. I no longer did it for the reasons that I originally did it. And I said, fine, God, I don't want this. If this is going to be a distraction, if this is going to become something bigger than it needs to be, if this is going to be something that becomes an idol in my life, I don't want it. Take it. And I gave it to him, and I didn't look back. And I honestly, I didn't realize it was almost a year until July, late June, early July, when people were like, dude, are you putting out a Congress video? And I was like, oh yeah, maybe I should, maybe I could. And I went to do it, and I looked back to see my last upload, and I was like, September? Wow, that's insane. And I was thinking, what could I do from a video? What could I do from a video? And Lord was like, you're not making a video. And I was like, but God, this is where it all started. I've got to make the video. Forget me. It's the fans. It's about the fans, right? It's about the fans, right? Sorry, my volume was down. I got to get better at this board thing. It's about the fans, right? Yeah, we'll get there. but yeah, it was about the fans, Lord. It's not about me. It's about the fans. And and sorry, I got distracted with the buttons. I forgot I was going to play with them, and then I didn't because I just kept talking. But I was like, yeah, it's not about me. It's about the fans. And he was like, is it? And I was like, all right, fine, whatever. So he said no. And it was hard because so many people were like, you need to make a video. You need to make a video. You need to make a video. Like, do it. It'll blow up. You can do it. And I was just like, I can't. I can't. And I didn't. And I was like, fine, God, if you don't want me to do this, if you don't want me to ever touch it again, then I'm not, because I don't want it if you're not in it. And if you're not the focus of it, I don't want it. And if they're not the reason I'm doing it, and it's for affirmation and praise and applause, sorry, then I don't want it. And I didn't do it. And I regret nothing, because I went to Congress a month later after God told me not to make the video. And I didn't think about it. I wasn't like, man, see, I'm not going to get stopped. Like my motive started to change, and what I cared about changed, because I didn't think about it, about, man, what could have been like Congress if you made a video? You could have really capitalized on this opportunity. And I didn't care. I wasn't thinking about it. And I get to Congress, and I got stopped a couple times by people or fans, whatever you want to call them. they were just like, man, your videos, they're so good. And they just make me laugh. And there's times when I'm having a bad day and I go back and I just watch that one where you did the face mask. And it makes me laugh every time. And I want to thank you for that because people need that in the world. And other people are like, yo, I wanted you to know I lost my mom. This one hit me hard. You're like, I lost my mom. And I stumbled across your video on YouTube talking about your dad. And it ministered to me. And I started to remember why I did this. It wasn't about the numbers. It wasn't about the praise. It was simply about the people. It was about me having a creative outlet and using the abilities and the talents that God gave me, whether that be humor, whether that be editing, whether that be effects, whatever it was, using that to better the world, to reach my family, reach my friends, to reach a community beyond myself. And I did it. And it was going great, but my motives changed and the goal and the purpose changed and my focus changed. And I had to stop. But then I get to Congress and I was reminded of the reason why it all started. And I was reminded of the reason why I blew up. I didn't make that Congress video because I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this and edit this. And oh, this is definitely going to blow up. 30,000 views for sure. I made it thinking it was going to reach the same demographic amount of people that it always reached. And it didn't. But I didn't care about the people I was reaching anymore. I cared about the numbers and I cared about the successes of it all. But I went to Congress and I was reminded of why I did it. And I saw the faces of the few of those. And then there was the other ones that came up and said, when are you doing it again? We need this. This is such a blessing to us. It's funny, or it's uplifting, or it's inspiring, there was one lady, she told me how it inspired her to be a creative and how she went and bought a camera and started doing it. Like changing people's lives by just doing something that I thought was just doing it. I don't know what to say. But it got out of order. I gave it to God. And I was reminded of why I did it all. And my motive began to change. And I no longer cared about the numbers. And I just decided, whatever way I'm going to reach people. Whatever way He lets me, I'm going to connect with them. If it means I only make them laugh when I'm with them in person, so be it. If it means I only laugh by my Instagram story, okay. If it means I only uplift them by sharing my testimony on Facebook, fine. Whatever way I can reach people, I want to reach them. And it was it was August because it was after Congress. It was the beginning of August. Right after Congress. When I came home and I felt like the Lord was like, all right, go ahead. And I was like, wait, what you mean go ahead? Like, go ahead. Or like I can dabble with it, go ahead. Or I can start thinking about it, go ahead. What you mean by go ahead? And He was like, you can do it. And I was like, God, but what if I do it? What if I get the same way before? It's like, then we'll be back here again. But he let me know that something changed. My motives changed, and I was getting back to the main thing. It was no longer about me and my affirmation. It was no longer about what I felt I needed from people or from numbers or from publicity. But it was simply about doing what I could to make life better, whether that was through laughs, whether that was through testimonies, whether that was through whatever. Doing something to better somebody else, to help them, to make their life go better, to make their story become stronger, to make their mindset become more motivated. Whatever it was, I just wanted to help reach people any way that I could. And the Lord said, you can do it again. And so, all of that to say, for the past 2 months, I have been in preparation figuring out what exactly it is that I can do to bring Life with Jalen back. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm here to tell you, I know exactly what it is I've got to do. Oh yeah. Basically, I'm going to do some really cool stuff. It's going to be, as you can see, based off the first episode, the format's changed a little bit. It's got podcast vibe now. I've got a podcast channel on Spotify and on iTunes. I'm uploading to YouTube directly. I'm uploading to Facebook directly. I'm going to either upload the full video or clips of the videos to Instagram or IGTV. I'm basically reaching anywhere and everywhere I can for two reasons. One, it's going to spread the numbers out. It's going to keep me from focusing on monetization and focusing on the number count, because that should not matter. If this is something I'm doing because I have a passion for it or because God's told me to, the numbers do not matter. And that's what I'm getting to. I'm getting back to the basics. I'm getting back to what it matters. I'm getting back to trying to impact people's lives, make their lives better by making them laugh, making them cry, making them feel happy. Whatever it is I can do, one at a time, all at the same time, it does not matter. Whatever way I can make their lives better, that's what I want to do. And that's what Life with Jalen's all about. And the name is still Life with Jalen because I am the host, and this is Life with Jalen. I am going to be hosting it, so it's not Life with Jalen, like come live with me. It was. But now it's life. It's life. It's real life with real people talking about real problems, keeping it real. That's what it is. And I am just the host. It's Life with Jalen. Life with Jalen. Real people talking about real problems in real life. And that's what we're going to do. And it's going to be great. I'm super excited. I'm ecstatic. I've already got a list of things coming up. People, places, things, like literally it's going to be great. There's going to be some creative stuff. There's going to be podcast, office style stuff. There's going to be interview, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to get more into it. But in order to find out more about the vision and where this is going, what it all entails, you got to come back next time. Keep it real, guys.